Today we're going to talk about people's mindsets towards growth. So especially during the initial part of my training career, I would spend a lot of time with sales teams, training them on how to sell better. And often what I would see both in sales teams and sales leaders was a negative mindset towards the topic of growth. So every time a growth target was set to them, they would often start the year by complaining about how difficult it's going to be, how impossible it's going to be, how the company literally has something against them by giving them growth targets year on year which are impossible to achieve. And more often than not, my take to them would be that if you start your particular year, or you start your quarter, or start your month with a negative mindset towards the growth targets that have been set to you, it's almost impossible that you're going to achieve them. Now, so that would be my first thing. The second thing that I would say is that, and which is the most important thought of this particular blog, is to say that growth is something which is not an option. Growth is something which is not a choice, because whether you're growing or not, everything else around you is growing. Whether you're growing in your career or not, petrol prices are going up. Whether you're growing in your career or not, the cost of vegetables will go up. Whether you're growing in your career or not, the school fees of your children, if you have any, are going to go up. Whether you're growing in your career or not, your life will continue happening, right? So if you're a single person, whether you're growing in your career or not, you're likely to have a significant other, or you're likely to get married. In a while, a lot of y'all may want to have children. So if your career is stagnant on one side and it's not growing on one side, and everything else is growing, there's a fundamental mismatch that happens, and which will lead your career to collapse, and which will lead your life to collapse. So the point is, growth is not a choice. Now, growth is not a choice for a person, and it's also not a choice for a company. So the example that I would give people is, especially if you're running a branch, and that particular branch, whether it's a bank branch, whether it's an ice cream company having their own branch, if that branch is not growing, the rent is going to go up every year, irrespective of whether the revenues are going up. The electricity bill of that particular branch is going to go up irrespective of whether the revenues are going up. The cost of people, the salary cost, is going to go up every year irrespective of whether the revenues are growing. So if you have a situation where a certain branch, the revenues are the same, the profits are the same, and all the other expenses are going up, eventually that particular branch will have to be shut down. The company doesn't have a choice. It's not that they have something against that branch or the people there. It just becomes unsustainable for them. So the third example that I often give is that of a country. A lot of times we wonder why political leaders, or leaders in government, are constantly talking about growth, and especially GDP growth, saying that India as a country has to grow at a 6% at least, and ideally at a 8%. And the very kind of simple logic to that is that the connection between GDP growth and creation of jobs, and whether your GDP grows or not, there are a certain amount of, and especially in a populated country like India and China, there are thousands of people that come into a population where they need jobs. So on one side, your GDP remains constant, but the amount of people coming in the job market keeps going up every year. There's a fundamental mismatch between the two that can be a very, very dangerous situation for a country. So whether you're an individual, whether you're a company, whether you're a country, you don't have a choice but to grow. And since you don't have a choice but to grow, I think it's important that each one of us changes our mindset towards our growth targets that have been set for us by our company, or the targets that we set for ourselves. So that is what this vlog is about. I'm going to do part 2 of the vlog, which is talking about the fact that growth is never easy. Okay, thank you very much.